tell me about your most challenging tour you ever had.
Oh, yeah. So
Oh, it's
people
gonna
always
be.
ask tour guides like the funniest thing or the craziest thing that ever happened, and mine is not a funny story. It was horrible. I used to give a lot of student tours. That's
Yeah.
kind of bread and butter for New York City guides. So school trips and chorus trips. And one of it was more like tour leading. You'd get them all on the bus, you'd take them to the
Yeah.
restaurant. You'd get them all on the bus, you'd take them to the museum. So one of the common things to do with these big groups is take them on the Staten Island ferry, which is a commuter ferry. It goes from Manhattan to Staten Island, and
Yeah.
it's free. And it happens to go past the Statue of Liberty. So it's an amazing free way to see the Statue of Liberty, get a boat ride. So how the ferry works is you get everyone on, and logistically as a tour guide, you have to keep your group together, make sure everyone gets on, make sure everyone knows when to get off. Because the boat gets to Staten Island, you have to get off the boat, you have to walk through the ferry terminal, and then you get back on the boat, and then it comes back. That's like how it works. So we're on the boat. I have very young children. I have a group of 40 elementary school students, so they're like 7 and 8.
Yeah.
And we get to the terminal, and the terminal in Staten Island is all glass. So you can kind of see when you come out through the doors off the ferry, you can see the waiting room. You just have to go around to come back in for safety precautions. And it's a public terminal. So there's lots of, in New York City, you have like different types of police guard, right?
Yeah.
So unbeknownst to me, that day, they were filming a police training video.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they did not announce that on the boat either. But this is a boat of tourists. So they were filming a video that day of what to do if a shooter opens fire in the public terminal, right? So I get off the boat, and all I see is a man in a black hoodie with a machine gun doing this and people running, right? And I can't hear anything because it's glass, but you can't hear. And, there's a huge crowd, everyone's getting off the ferry, they're all being directed. So again, they're all tourists. So I guess it didn't alarm anyone, but for me, this is post 9/11. So there was like no doubt in my mind, like there's a shooter. Do you know what I mean? Like that was like, okay, this is what's happening. So I was very worried about causing panic because I thought, if I point it out, everyone will run and they'll run over my kids. So, I turned to them, I had a big smile on my face, and I was like, my group with me, my group. And I pulled them all the way to the side because there's many exits that are guarded. So I pulled them away from the crowd, away from the group, thinking, oh my gosh, this crowd's going to stampede any minute. And I'm walking, I'm like, quickly with me. And I'm walking fast towards the guard. And as I'm getting close to the guard, I'm mouthing to him, there is a shooter, getting close. And I get up to him, and typical New York faction, like he could care. He's like, oh no, they're shooting a video in there. I was like, oh my gosh, why wasn't that announced, So I turned to my group and I kind of said, like, did anyone see what's going on in there? And some of them were like, yeah, it looks like something's going on. I was like, well, they're shooting a video, just so you know. So I prepared them. And then we walked through the terminal, got on the boat. I said, okay, we'll meet at this time. Then I went into the bathroom and just had a panic attack.